Hey everybody, Toaster here. Finally got my ace in the Chiri. This is a tank I hate. It's slow. It's got no armor to it. It does have a nice gun. It's got an autoloader, but the pen is really low on it. So being top tier is a major bonus on this uh, tank, and also having binos because you need to snipe with it because it's big and it has no armor. So let's get the replay started and we'll get things going here. So, of course, swamp, usually you go north. I always say north, go north, south, stay south. Because on this map, if you don't go to the north side, well, I mean, you spawn on the north, but if you don't go to the east side of the map, you're gonna die because they get you in a crossfire. And so rather than going and getting in that crossfire at the castle, I like to go down here. I'll set my binos up and hopefully catch some people. I'm pretty slow. I'm hoping guys get caught early by this Cromwell. So anyway, it's got 390 alpha in essence because it's 130 a shot basically. And so yeah, it's got 155 pen. But it's got really slow shell velocity as evidence there, basically. So now I'm going to set my binos up and see what I can spot. And because anybody that goes north from the south spawn is just asking to get nailed. So I catch a guy that's sitting still, so I'm going to try and focus him because I know that maybe I can get him out. So rather than focusing on separate tanks, so I just put a blind shot in as another shot. So, and if you look at the map, I mean, we didn't send too much to the castle side, and that's actually very good. I don't know where these shots are going, quite honestly. So put my last shot in the T-34-85, and then of course the slow T-150 here. Wish I would have caught him sooner, but anyway, we're able to get 3 shots, and just like that, we're up to 1100 damage. I mean, so it can work, but normally you're not getting side shots on guys that can't see you, so that's why this tank doesn't work. You're seeing the mobility is just pretty awful on this thing, and the top speed is no better at 42. Not that you get there very often, but I figure I better go help these guys. There's T-34-85 up there and an M7, and on my way I happen to see a T-67, but I want to get safe from that T-67, and I guess this DLC is just totally tunnel visioned. So now I'm just trying to drop spot because I don't want to get shot by that T-25-2 that's out there. I didn't realize during the replay that he died, but just a few blind shots hoping that maybe I'll dissuade that T-67, but in fact I don't. So, and I get a really lucky shot on the move, but that cost me some health. Still, we're up to 1500 damage. We're losing a little bit. We're definitely losing as far as the map control goes, so I want to kill these guys if I can and gain back some map control. So what you don't want to do is chase things down in this tank, because if you go out in the open, you're just going to get pummeled. So I decided that I'll go back towards Cap and see if I can help out the guys towards Cap. As it turns out, our Artie is all over it in self-interest, of course, because he's basically the furthest guy out, but that's who they'll encounter first, perhaps. Maybe the 90B, but looks like the Comet and the KV-1 and what else is there? There's a E2 out there. They've all been beat up pretty good by our team, so that's fantastic. So looks like they're putting up a pretty good defense. So I see this KV-1 and I figure I better try and help if I can, but he gets hammered. And I'm just lucky this M7 is shooting AG. Okay. So every tier can damage you in this thing, and that's one of the really frustrating things, because you're not fast enough to get away, and your gun, although it's got okay DPM, especially for an autoloader, is not fantastic. It's not what I would call fantastic. So I'm trying to line up a shot on this KV-1, and I end up going out of sniper mode. Miss an opportunity to do damage early, and he's got the derp gun, so now that he's fired, I'd kind of like to kill him, but I also don't want to take too much damage, which I end up taking a lot of damage anyway. So it's now 12 to 11, and I've only got 500 health, and I think that STRV does 150 alpha, so I'd like to kind of work him down, but as it turns out, I do end up putting a bunch of shots into him, but he gets 2 into me, so you know, I'm a 2-shot for him, and my gunner's dead, so, and that's on a cooldown. I got 40 seconds left, so I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens. And I didn't want to go out there also go great guns, because I did not know what was out there lurking. So now it's down to an E25 in their artillery, and so the last thing I want to do is go pushing in on those guys, especially I'm a 2-shot to the E25 and maybe a 1-shot to the artillery. I don't know. It's an M41. I think it's, you know, it's a tier 5, but still, this thing has no armor and it's huge, so it would be fairly easy for me to get damaged or have one of my modules damaged and cripple me to where I can't really do anything. And with an E25 being as dangerous as they are, with as good a camo as they have, I decided that I did not want to go out there. And I try and tell my teammates not to go out there, but they do anyway, because, you know, that's what teammates do. So I'm just sitting in this position hoping that the E25 pushes out on me, and I can get a first shot advantage on him, because I can unload 3 shells. 1 second interclip is really helpful against an E25, but he's got a lot of health left. So really was hoping that, well, and he does, he takes some damage, so I was really hoping that he would get down to a point where I could actually take him out in 1 clip, and it looks like he's right in that range. So so I'm setting up. I'm not going to rush out there into the open, because that would be foolish, because if he spots me. But what I will do is I'm hoping that this Hummel will come back towards me, and he actually does. So we end up getting 1 shot on the E25, and he does not light me, but he knows what direction that I shot him from, so I would assume that he's gonna figure I'll go up and camp in this middle D4 area, which is exactly what I'm not gonna do. So it's just a little mind game to see if I can figure out where he'll go to try and get an advantage on me. I think it turns out he's not a fantastic player, but he's still an E25, and you've got to respect that. So I'm just trying to bush up as best I can, and I end up moving a little bit and adjusting so that I'm more in the bush in case he does. If he comes around the top, I want to make sure that I am in a bush as much as possible from every direction. So I don't necessarily care if I can get a shot right away. I'd rather be able to light him first, but as it turns out, I do get a shot on him. And I take kind of a Hail Mary shot, and the reason I do that is because I, you know, if I hit it, fine. If I don't, I'm dropping back into cover, right? So now we're in this kind of stalemate, but I don't want his arty to hit me, so I'm kind of playing against that hill. And I turned like I was running away. So, and for whatever reason, if you're gonna sit on that corner, at least aim at that bush, you know. But now it's just a matter of cleanup with the arty. We're up to 3,200 damage, so this thing is capable of a lot of damage, but any tank is if you get it in the right situation. The thing is, the platform is just so bad in most cases, it's not worth it. So I'm assuming the Emil has some sort of mission or something, so I do finally accept his request to platoon up. I think he might think we'll get Brothers in Arms, but he died, so no such luck. So anyway, I'm assuming that the arty might be headed towards our base, so my plan is just to go cap, because I don't really want to chase someone around with 200 health. And so I'm just kind of headed towards cap. I'm not being real careful because I do have 6th sense, so I'll know if I get lit. But as it turns out, he's sitting on a hill, kind of in the middle of nowhere, and of course he's arty, so he doesn't really have great view range. So spot him and take him. So that's the end of the game. I'm glad to finally ace this. I'm about 11,000 experience away from getting the STA-1. I already have an STA-2. That's why I went up this line. I actually played this line on Xbox and gave up because of this tank. And so it's bad. I've almost given up on this thing, but I'm really close now. So I'll get to the STA-1 and sell this thing immediately. Well, thank you for watching, and I hope you have a good night, and we'll see you on the next one.